extra. All the news that's fit to print. Buy it, paper. Extra, extra. All the news that's fit to print. Buy it, paper, mister.
Hello, sir. Welcome to Oakmont University Department of Medicine. I'm Samuel.
Charles Reed, private investigator. I have a few questions if you don't mind. You recognize this bottle? Maybe you could tell me what's inside.
That's one of our lab bottles. We have a lot of them. As for what's inside, I'd need to run some tests.
Yeah, could you do that for me?
These tests aren't cheap. And the other day I could get right to it, but we're, somewhat hindered right now.
What's up?
Our lab is crawling with, well, creatures. Professor Westerbrook's research is a little unconventional, and something went wrong. Really wrong.
So, if I do a little pest control for you, you'll run those tests for me. For free?
Our budget is tight. You'd be helping the cause of science, Mr. Reed. Isn't that enough?
Oh, I guess science could help itself.
All right. Yes, you solve our problem, and I'll run the test for you. Off the books. Here's the key for the basement.
The door won't budge. What kind of person would even touch this? Not to mention dissect it. I wonder what would happen if I press this button. Should I, or shouldn't I? Some serious equipment they've got here. Oakmont University is clearly well funded. I'm glad this thing is dead. Why do they even keep it here? Your lab is certified creature-free.
Excellent, Mr. Reed. You've done us a great favor. Now we can get things up and running again.
Your lab was, interesting. Running experiments on those creatures. What's up with that?
Oh, they're fascinating, aren't they? Convincing evidence of new branches in the evolutionary tree. Can you blame us for taking an interest?
Maybe not, but so much dead flesh down there, that's going to attract scavengers. Didn't you think about that?
Yeah, well, no. We'll be more careful in the future. Your point's taken.
Okay. I've done my part. Here's the bottle. Now you run those tests.
Yes. Wait here. It shouldn't take long. We finished that analysis, sir. It's ricin.
Ricin?
A highly toxic poison extracted from castor beans. It's slow-acting, but absolutely fatal to humans.
How can you tell if someone's been poisoned with ricin?
The symptoms take several days to develop. At first, it's like a common cold. But over several days, well, it develops into hemorrhage, internal organ failure, and death. It's not a pleasant way to die.
So, where do you get ricin? This isn't something you can pick up from a drugstore.
About that. It is rare, but we have a certain amount of it here. For study, in our poison store. Or we did. I'm afraid that must be where it came from. The label had been tampered with, but it certainly looks like ours. Where did you find it?
Crime scene. Someone was trying to poison a bunch of fish with it.
This is horrible. I need to warn everyone in the university about this.
There's some kind of cure for ricin?
I'm afraid not. Once it's in your system, it's a death sentence.
Who's got access to where the poison's stored?
Only Professor Westerbrook has the key. His office is upstairs, right alongside Professor Cavendish's. Professor Westerbrook's not here, though. He's been sick for the last few days. Professor Cavendish is away as well, on vacation.
Where do they live?
I'm not sure, but probably somewhere in Advent. Most of the teaching staff live there. Wait, you don't think it was one of them?
I'm working on that. Can you let me upstairs?
Well... all right. This is serious. I'll help you. Here's the key, but please don't disturb the professor's things.
I'll see you later. The door won't budge. These bottles look exactly the same as the one with the poison.
This should be good enough to make a decent copy.
Milton Pierce, the mayor of Oakmont deserves.
Please help a fella out.
Yes, I haven't got all day. What do you want?
Just wanted to say hi. I'm new in town.
Oh, how nice for you. If you need to look anything up in our archives, get in line like everybody else.
Well, if that's the way it is, then that's the way it is.
Good. I'm glad we understand each other.
Bye.
Extra, extra. Come, find something you like. Cheaper than the rest.
Best stuff in Oakmont. All on sale. Today only.
Judging by the layer of dust on it, this ring hasn't been worn in a long time. So why keep it around? The door won't budge.
I loved you. I always loved you.
A lot of fancy dresses locked away in a dark corner for a long time. I'm starting to smell some deep family trauma here. This Cavendish guy did an impressive investigation, and the EOD's in the center of all of it.
No, that's exactly the problem. They're not doing it out of charity. They do it to spread their influence and recruit new members. Some of those initiates, as they call them, vanish without a trace. And not just them, they kidnap ordinary folks too.
And poisoning the fish would prevent this. How?
Oh, you see, not everyone in this city believes in the EOD yet. They have opposition among the citizens, both rich and poor. A rumor of the EOD's fish being poisonous and several incidents would be enough to undermine the EOD by sparking fear and mistrust.
There must be another way to deal with the EOD. Like, if their crimes are that obvious, why don't you just go to the police?
They're resourceful, those sons of hagfish. They maintain a squeaky clean image, and they're good at it. I tried going to the police. They were no help at all. And I'm not suicidal enough to make it public and take them to court.
What did she mean? Blessed by the sea.
What do you think is the cause of Innsmouth syndrome in people?
Living in Innsmouth?
That K-forsaken place has nothing to do with it. It comes from breeding with monsters. These sea creatures they call Deep Ones. They take our women and they spoil them with their seed. Then they give birth to degenerate fish-faced offspring.
Where did you learn all of this? This information about the EOD?
After Anna left, I had nothing. But I did have a lot of time to research Innsmouthers, the EOD, and the story behind them. It is an old and powerful organization. They appeared back in the mid-19th century in Innsmouth, and the first people with the Innsmouth syndrome started showing up around that same time.
Ah, perhaps not coincidentally.
Ah, of course not. And the EOD is immensely rich. The sudden rise to power of the Blackwood family happened right after they joined them.
So what's your next move?
I was interrupted and couldn't finish my task. The EOD received a fresh haul of fish, but now they're on alert and raised their guard. I understand I'm in no position to ask. But after reviewing all the facts I've presented to you, Mr. Reed, would you agree to help me?
Keep talking. Now, what is it you want from me?
Poison the rest of the fish. It's spreading, but it's not enough. The EOD trusts you enough to deal with me, so it should be simple for you. My agent inside the EOD reports that they've just received a fresh haul. That's your target.
Your agent inside the EOD. Is he fairly high up the ranks?
Ah, I see where this is going. You need something from the EOD too.
Yeah. I'm trying to find a certain person who may be held by them.
My agent can arrange that. If someone is being held by the EOD, he'll know it. It's a win-win situation.
All right. Look, I'm gonna need to think about this.
Of course. But don't be too long. I'm going to need an answer before I let you go. I hope you can understand why. So, have you made up your mind?
Your methods stink, and your plan stinks. Still, the EOD is a threat, and I'm not gonna help them anymore. I'm in.
You're doing a great favor for this city, Mr. Reed. Never doubt that.
Yeah, I'm trying not to. Remind me what it is I have to do.
You need to poison the fresh haul of fish at the EOD storage. It's heavily guarded, but you'll figure out something, I've no doubt. I'll be back later. I need to see my agent. Find me after you're done. Here's the address and some ricin. Be very careful with it.
Yeah, will do. I'm not quite ready to die yet.
Yes? Do you need something? What is it? Yes? Do you need something? What is it?
Please help a fella out.
Hello again, Daryl. I serve the sea.
Sea be praised, Mr. Reed. Good to see you again.
Mind if I go inside?
Sure, no problem with that. Stay as long as you want.
Daryl, listen to me carefully. If you want to keep breathing, you gotta skip town. Now. You're taking a lot of heat on account of that fish poisoning. The EOD is on it like a dog on a bone, and they will find out the truth eventually.
What? I don't believe it.
Daryl, I'm saying this only because you're a real stand-up guy and I respect you. Leave this place, forget about the EOD, or it will kill you.
Fine, fine. You've always been on the level with me. I'll leave.
Don't be a stranger, Daryl.
May the sea protect you, Mr. Reed.
For the dusk of time is at hand. Here's the prophecy enshrined.
It's done. The fish have been poisoned.
Perfect. This will make a decisive blow to the EOD in Oakmont. You've done a great thing, Mr. Reed.
Your contact better be worth the trouble, George.
He's already waiting for you in the basement of the fish market. His name's Fred. You'll need to tell him a password.
Oh, you're kidding me. Passwords? Again?
Oh, yes. We decided to use this EOD feature against them. Ironic, don't you think? Funny, even.
Right, funny. Yeah. Yeah, I think I just split my sides laughing.
Anyway, the password is, the sea is a cruel mistress. Good luck.
Bye.
Stop it.
Hello? Your name Fred?
Might be. What do you want?
It's funny, you know. The water's choppy, the weather bad, and I miss sailing more than ever. It's like they say, the sea is a cruel mistress.
I know what you mean. But listen, I've got a story you might enjoy. You're looking for Professor Doe, ain't that right? The scientist the Order kidnapped. I think we can help each other.
How do you mean? You know where she is?
Slow down, buddy. Helping each other is not the same as let me just tell you everything.
Nothing's for free in this city, is it? Figures. All right. Shoot.
You won't regret it. You've seen some of this city now, am I right? You've in England what's coming? I want out of the Order and the city before it hits. Trouble is, it's much easier to get into the Order than to leave. Give the slightest hint of it, you've signed your death warrant. I need somebody to get me out of the city on the quiet. And that's not an easy thing these days, my friend.
I've no idea how to help you with that.
Ain't you a detective? There are people in the city, smugglers, who know what to do. Find them. That's how you can help. See, I've heard whispers about ads in the newspaper. A new ad every week, talking about Salvation Harbor. Maybe start there.
What is this order you mentioned?
Yeah. You don't know, do you? EOD. It really stands for the Esoteric Order of Dagon.
Dagon.
An old being from the depths of the sea. In books, they show him as a monstrous amphibian. The Innsmouthers worship him as a god. And of course, they make sacrifices to him. In blood.
All right, fine. I'll look into it. But your lead on the professor had better be worth it.
I know.
I know who's behind Professor Doe's kidnapping. It's an organization called the Esoteric Order of Dagon. Most of them stick to the fish market, but they seem to have agents everywhere. Even the university.
I knew there was something fishy about the EOD, the den of those filthy Innsmouthers. I'll tear it to the ground.
Actually, most of the EOD members I met were locals. And for what it's worth, the only Innsmouther I spoke to was a nice guy. You ought to examine your prejudices.
Are you calling me a bigot, Reed?
Robert, listen. Something needs to change. You holding a grudge against Innsmouthers ain't making anything better for anyone. Those who fan the flames of hatred always end up burnt in the end.
They killed my son, for Kay's sake!
I know. But what did you do to prevent it? You made yourself their enemy instead of helping them. What did you expect would happen? You chose to brand them newcomers and leave them to suffer just like you did with me. The only difference is that I'm useful to you. No wonder desperate Innsmouthers would seek refuge from a radical organization like the EOD. They had nowhere else to turn.
I shall think about what you've said.
Back to business. I'll continue my search for Professor Doe. I have a promising lead. You have anything else to tell me?
Your task remains the same. Find Harriet and bring her back. You say we are dealing with an entire organization. Well, I have something for you that might help our cause should things take a turn. Now leave. I've heard enough from you.
Just call me.
The end is... the raging waters.
A little bird told me there are people in Oakmont who can help me leave town.
Maybe, maybe not. What makes you think I know anything?
I've heard they're having a wake for Toothless Bob here.
That may be true, but I don't know you from Adam. Prove you ain't some gumshoe.
Actions speak louder than words. Maybe I can prove myself by helping you out with something. Solving problems is my specialty.
Okay. What about a little favor? Nothing fancy, don't worry. I expected a package to be delivered ages ago, but the courier still hasn't shown. Find out what's taking him so long. Here's the address.
Got it.
One more thing. If you don't find him, bring the package back, will ya? It's a crate full of the water of life, if you catch my drift.
Bye.
Stop it.
Burn their eyes. Here's the promise inscribed in the dying moon. The hidden shall arise.
Knock it off.
Don't do that again.
What's your problem?
by something heavy with wheels. And blood's almost dry. Empty, but reeks of gasoline. I've seen ashes like this before. Well, that's one way to get rid of a corpse.
You're done, kid. Someone talks to the cops behind my back. Their history. Get 'em, boys. Drock! Whose idea was it to hide the crates in such a stupid way? No mercy, boys. He's been asking for this. Get rid of him. Leave nothing but ashes. Understood?
Time to figure this out.
Drock! Whose idea was it to hide the crates in such a stupid way? You're done, kid. Someone talks to the cops behind my back. Their history. No mercy, boys. Get rid of him. Leave nothing but ashes. Understood?
Someone was looking for a crate here and was brutally killed. The crew that did it were headed up by a guy in a wheelchair. Well, I found your courier. I hate to break it to you, but he's dead. Someone didn't like him talking to the cops, and, well, they made it pretty savage.
What? Keon did. He might think I was in on it.
He? Who's he?
The boss.
Not my problem. Just tell me what I want to know. Who do I gotta see to get a man out of the city?
You're wrong there, pal. It is your problem. The boss is the only one who can arrange a bon voyage. There, on newcomer. Here's the note with your instructions. Beyond that, you're on your own.
Okay, thanks. Here's your water of life.
Shh, keep it down, pal. Not too shabby, newcomer. You deserve a reward for this.
Bye.
Pick your poison.
Hey fella, what do you do when you see a dog? Pet it or kick it away?
I'd kill it, because the dog's rabid.
Right you are. You're a new one, huh? Come with us.
Just take me to your boss.